Hey everyone, this is Honey Child, and you are back for another episode of Say More. This is my YouTube series where I have the opportunity to deep dive in some of my older catalog, the good, the bad, and the cringe. And today is a very special episode. I am here in Rich Life Studios in Philadelphia, PA. And this beat and this song that you're about to hear today is another Jae Rich production, and it's perfect because I'm sitting here in his studio. So when we get to the point of listening to the song and talking through it afterwards, you'll get a chance to hear from the producer himself. The song is called Cotton Club, Reparations. And this is a song that I won't do too much talking, I promise. But this is a song, I'll just say right off the bat, that I perform to this day. It is one of my favorite Honey Child songs. So I'm so excited to be doing this one in the studio where it was, where it happened. Not the original studio, but in the studio where it did happen. So let's listen to Cotton Club, the 2018 version of it. And I'll be back to talk a little bit more about it. Jae Rich, you did it again. They call her Jazzy cause she loves Ella, a diva that croons like Sarah. Bille got nothing on her, holidays and trips to Spain and Roma. The fellas toot horns like Louie, their jewels Jae adorns, sapphires and rubies. She's modern day Hollywood from the 30s, straight out the movie. She a modern day lady, never kept a man who wasn't right with the money. She's cool and she classy, and you can call her Jazzy, Miss J if you're nasty. From LA to Cincinnati, yeah, she known to keep it flashy. And in a flash, she gone, baby, gone. Trips to the east just to feast with the czar. Meditating monks in the heights of Myanmar. The best access to planes, trains, and cars. Hopping yachts off the Ivory Coast to Zanzibar. And if you wanna get far, gotta train like the marathon. She's the rarest of them all, shooting star. 4-leaf clover, black They call her Jazzy cause she loves Ella, a diva that croons like Sarah. Bille got nothing on her, holidays and trips to Spain and Roma. The fellas toot horns like Louie, the jewels Jae adorns, sapphires and rubies. She's modern day Hollywood from the 30s, straight out the movie. She's vogue, and she knows. You think you know her? I promise that you don't, with all these rocks you wanna show her. You feeling bolder, but everything that you got don't compare to what she own. Sun kissed cause she blessed with the melanin. She all about the Benjamins, stunting is her medicine. She tryna set it right again. For the black, rich, and the feminine, you know there ain't a lot of them. Madam CJ told her keep them edges laid. And she don't play, especially when she getting paid. No, she don't play, nay, got all the say. Hey, what up to Tay-Tay, hit the nay while we vacate. Hey, Jazzy cause she loves Ella, a diva that croons like Sarah. Bille got nothing on her, holidays and trips to Spain and Roma. The fellas toot horns like Louie, the jewels Jae adorns, sapphires and rubies. She's modern day Hollywood from the 30s, straight out the movie. She's vogue. All right. That was the 2018 version of Cotton Club, Reparations, a Honey Child original produced by Jae Rich. And I mentioned that we are in the Rich Life Studios here in Philadelphia. I have the producer himself hiding in the corner, so we will ask him some questions for sure. But immediate reactions, I actually don't have too many because, as I mentioned before, this is a song to this day that I still perform. It is one of my absolute favorites. I just performed it last week. And a big difference between now and then, I will say, in just the way I perform the song, is nowadays I take a lot more liberties with some of the lines. And I've been saying this for the past couple of videos, but I'm just getting more and more comfortable with my singing voice as the years go on. So we are now in the phase of Honey Child where after my IEP, the 4-track EP, I steadily put out like just singles. And this is one that I just still really love to perform. I love the beat. I love the production. I love how the production gets to play around a lot, like with a lot of the drops and the delay and stuff like that with my vocals, which is a lot of fun. For context around the song, I come from a very matriarchal family, both sides of my family. There's just a lot of women in my family. And so at the time I was writing this song, I really had them in mind. In particular, my great aunt Marion, who I didn't know a lot about her personal life, but she was somebody that got to live a pretty nice life of travel and luxury, before really settling down in the Bronx. She just got to travel a lot with girlfriends. And so as I was writing this, I had her in mind, but I got to like really fantasize about her life abroad and like what if she had like a lot of, men and lovers in her life that were always trying to give her like jewels and stuff like that. Or what if she was at the point of getting to meet like royalty and stuff like that. So it was really me just like going crazy with my fantasies on what her life was like. Because we're talking a woman that was, single by herself in New York City in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, and after. And so a lot of the liberties that many other Americans had, she didn't, as someone that immigrated from St. Thomas, to the United States. And so this is a song where I specifically had her in mind, but I was thinking a lot about the women of my family. Jae, what do you remember about making this beat?
Should I talk? I don't know.
I can repeat whatever you say.
I remember one. I would ask you who your musical influences were,
Yeah,
and then
musical
I would check
influences.
out. I'll go on YouTube and check out their music and stuff and see if there's anything I could sample and kind of get the feel for that would fit your personality.
Mm-hmm.
And then came across this and like that what I sampled is in the beginning of it, and I was just like, ooh, that's fire,
Yeah.
and just came up with a pattern and drums, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if I even really fully mixed that beat.
By the
Like,
time I started writing over it,
yeah, I don't
it
even
wasn't
know.
fully mixed.
It might have
Nice.
been, I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, me listening back, I'm like, God, this mix sucks, but it's still a tight song and it holds up, years later.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I appreciate that at that time you were really trying to tap into what was influencing me, like what I was listening to. I think we had a lot of conversations about that, like how can we meet in the middle of the production you're used to doing, which is largely hip hop, and the stuff that I'm used to, like not even necessarily performing, but just like what I'm listening to, what's influencing my singing voice, my style, and all of that, and try to meet in the middle. And I think that's why I like this song so much, because I think we achieved that pretty well.
Yeah.
And even to this day, every time I perform it, people are like, yo, I really like that one. Like, that's the one people really, really connect with. But yeah, so this is a sample of Dream a Little Dream, the Ella Fitzgerald, Louis Armstrong version of this. And obviously, this song, I name drop a lot of classic, famous jazz artists. Louie, Ella, they call her Jazzy because she loves Ella, a diva that croons like Sarah Vaughan, another person I absolutely idolize and admire. Bille got nothing on her, Holidays, Billie Holiday, some wordplay in there. So it's a song full of wordplay, and it's a song full of like, me kind of name dropping all of these folks that I listened to since I was really, really young and to this day as well. This was 2018. At that time, we were living at 2026 West Oxford. What do you remember about that studio space? 'Cause I've mentioned it a few times in these videos.
A basement, a not finished basement.
Unfinished basement. Yeah.
I mean, it was great though to have, because I moved from New York,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm used to apartments, and then
Yeah.
now I'm in like a 3-floor house with a basement, even though it wasn't finished. It's like I had space to
Mm-hmm.
do stuff instead of like my bedroom.
Yeah.
Um, but to foster a lot of learning, because at that time I was still learning a lot about engineering and production, and just going through the motions of it.
Yeah.
And then also picking your brain nonstop. I know you got sick of me asking like music theory questions 24/7, and yeah, I mean, I feel like that was definitely a time of growth.
Yeah.
And exploration.
Yeah, growth and exploration, 100%. Yeah,
Grind, like,
yeah, the grind.
a lot of fucking beats.
Yeah. You were like new to Philly at that point, and I remember you were making like beat tapes based off of Philly groups and artists. And at that time, I was still with Hard Work Movement and like taking a lot of influence and asking me about like how to arrange for like a live band setting and stuff like that. Yes.
I still want to do it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I would say like grind definitely feels appropriate for this time. Like I think I was still really excited. I was like, I took a lot of inspiration from being in Hard Work, being in that group, and thinking at one point like, oh, it would be nice, because the way that we operated in Hard Work was kind of similar, of taking this like nude school sound with a lot of old school type vibe, like especially soul and hip hop. And so I took that as inspiration by the time I started Honey Child, and I was like, oh, like I consider myself an old soul that listens to a lot of old stuff. So it probably makes the most sense for me to like take the influences that I grew up with, plus the influences of this group that I'm in, where we're really grinding to like make this sound, plus the influences of like what you were listening to at the time and trying to like meet you in the middle of that. So it was a really special time for sure. Like, it's nice that you have your like space now, but honestly, Philly basement studios, they're kind of where they're at. That was something that I learned, 10 years ago when I first moved here. Nice. I think we're going to leave it at that, but I do want to let y'all know that Jae and I just recorded my 2024 Tiny Desk concert, submission. And what we ended up doing is a newer, updated version of this song, Cotton Club. So please pop on over, watch that version of it. You will hear me singing and rapping live for that. And I will, as I always do, put the link to this 2018 version of Cotton Club in the description below so you can go back and revisit that. But thank you all so much for this very special episode of Say More, and I will see you again next week. Take care, y'all.